There is a guest appearance of a jumping spider right there. I mean, you'd be able to see it in the video. Sir, ma'am, excuse me. Yes, you. What are you doing? I didn't invite any guests over. Oh my god, that's so cute. No, it's too cute. I'm gonna scoop him up. You're going to have to leave. I'm sorry. What's up, everyone? My name is Alex, and I use he, him, his pronouns, or AMR's pronouns, and I wanted to talk about my witchcraft beliefs and practices. I mean, basically, I talked about a general idea of spirituality for myself. I talked about, like, what religion and spirituality is to me, but I kind of kept it a little vague because I don't really talk about that kind of thing openly, but it is a part of my identity, so I thought that it was worth talking about in a video. So I started out learning about spirituality and witchcraft when I was in junior high, I believe. I had some friends who were into witchcraft and had like books and stuff on it, and we kind of learned together vaguely, but we didn't really understand it. I don't think I understood it enough. I saw it as more of a hobby and didn't see it as like you adopt this practice like to kind of weave it into your everyday life sort of thing. That's what witchcraft is to me. That's what spirituality in general is to me. It's something that just is kind of it's not really the backbone of my everyday living, but I try to incorporate it into basically every aspect of my life: eating, sleeping, working. So I guess like being a kid, I just like didn't really understand it that much, but I at least got an early introduction to that kind of thing. When I was just getting out of high school, I started buying witchcraft books that taught you all about, the seasons and how to incorporate, I guess, the worship of seasons and the worship of deities for some people in your everyday life, prayer and ritualistic practice and all that. And I kind of consumed these books with no sort of critical thinking. I was like, well, they wrote books on this stuff. It all sounds legit. And I always believed that, at the time, I believe that I kind of had to take everything that was stated in a book and believe in it and practice it, or else like it wasn't real witchcraft. It wasn't real Wiccanism, which is, I considered myself Wiccan for a while. Not anymore though. And that's not even just like I found a problem with it or anything. It just, after a while, it didn't really click with me. It didn't, I didn't find use in the practice of Wicca and its belief system. So I kind of moved on to a more eclectic sort of paganism, an eclectic sort of spirituality, where I was drawing inspiration from different sources and trying to tie them in with my life and sort of adjusting them, making minute changes depending on just what my needs were. Well, for me, let's clear up some misconceptions and then try to also not invalidate other people. So, devil worship, that is not a requirement of witchcraft. Hexes, curses, not a required thing. Not everyone is like that. It's not a cult. It is not, it doesn't hinge on things like sex rituals or animal sacrifice. I also wrote on this list evil stuff. I'm not entirely sure what that's supposed to mean, but it is not a practice meant to harm, is probably the best way to talk about it. Worshipping demons, worshipping the devil, that's valid. Some people, like, that's like how they practice, and they have a different understanding of the biblical Satan, or the idea of Lucifer, or the devil in general. A deity of many, many names, and hexes, curses. Sometimes that is part of someone's practice, but it really isn't what you would think it is. Like cursing someone so that, like, I don't know, they burst into flames or something. I don't know what people think of curses and hexes, but it is really not like, it is not an intent to harm. In general, witchcraft, like, that's not what it's meant to be. So what do I believe in? Wow. Well, some deities, in the sense of, like, I believe in them as a concept. I'm monotheistic. I believe in one God. I don't believe in there's one God, only one God, and that's what everyone needs to believe in. That is that is certainly not the case. But I also like the idea of other deities, and I believe in other deities as like a concept, as an archetype sort of thing. So stuff like the Greek pantheon, I love learning about the different Greek gods, especially like lesser known ones, and looking into what they represent and what kinds of morals they can teach us, what kind of life lessons you can learn from learning about a deity. Some people take on a patron deity, which is a singular deity, usually, that you worship rather than the entire pantheon. So instead of just like the Greek pantheon, someone might take on Hades or Hermes or Aphrodite, stuff like that, like a single god to focus on. Not Furcus, that's not a word. Spirits, of course, benevolent ones, spirits of the household, spirits of different concepts, love and emotion in general, and I guess also nature spirits, so spirits of the forest, spirits of the like rivers and skies and stuff like that. I believe in the idea of what would you call it, appealing to different spirits. So that's where you get like offerings. That's where like you would leave an offering and you're appeasing a spirit or calling on that spirit to protect you or to be a companion, or calling on them to learn more about them. I believe in stuff like that. I believe in different energies, not just from people, like emotions and stuff, but also energies found, I think it's called animism, but I didn't know if that was appropriative. I don't know if animism is specific to a culture, and I didn't know if that's something I could call my belief, but it's that idea that every single like place in nature, every single animal and person and object has some kind of energy to it, and that is really where you get, I guess that's really where the idea of, using different tools and stuff for ritual comes from, is like those different energies, calling on those energies, using different tools in witchcraft to call on energies that will do different things depending on what you need. Elemental energies, that's another thing. So things that are aligned with water, air, fire, earth, that kind of thing. I love that sort of idea. I like the idea of, it sounds weird. It sounds like it's, everything fits in a little box somewhere. It's a lot more complicated than that, but I like the idea of concepts. I like astrology in that astrology talks about being aligned with different elemental energies, like Aquarius being water, and Leo is either fire or earth. I'm really bad at remembering things. I said Aquarius was water, Aquarius is air. So is Gemini and Libra, they're air signs, but yeah, I like that kind of idea, and the idea of like things in nature being attuned to a specific type of energy, a specific type of elemental energy. I like that. And that also includes auras and astral energy, astral travel, reading auras or using one's aura as like a way to perform magic or to perform rituals or prayer, and just magic in general, prayer and spells and divination, like tarot readings, meditation as well, like those. Just in general, I believe in the magic and the elemental energy behind those ideas. Celebrating holidays, that is another thing that I came to start practicing. In Wicca, it's 8 holidays. It's the 4 minor holidays of the solstices and equinoxes, 2 of each, because it's the summer, winter solstice and the spring and autumn equinox. And then there's major holidays in between those, but I've forgotten what a lot of them are. They're sort of like milestones to mark different changes in the season and changes in the harvest and new beginnings and everything like that. It's called the Wheel of the Year because it kind of moves in a clockwise. Like Yule is at the top. It's the winter solstice. The year and like the holidays have always started in winter, and moving around kind of like a clock with the hour, the half hour, the quarter hours being marked by the solstices and the equinoxes, and then in between those are 4 other holidays. I wish I could remember them, but my idea has always been that the solstice and the equinox are major holidays. They mark, I guess, kind of a new beginning. Like winter has reached its longest year ever, and then we are bringing in the new, like we're bringing in spring by lighting fires or stringing up lights and basically calling for the sun to start coming back and to make the days longer. I don't know. I like that better than them being minor holidays. So I mean, I used to only celebrate winter solstice. I still kind of only do because it's so easy to incorporate, I guess, like Christmas and stuff, like other winter holidays. Like it's easy to pass it off as like, yeah, I'm celebrating Christmas just like everyone else, instead of telling them, no, I'm celebrating the winter solstice, as like a witchcraft kind of thing. I want to get back into celebrating the holidays, for sure. I just have been so caught up in everything else. There's so much going on in my life right now, and I feel like I haven't found the time to focus on my spirituality and focus on just things that don't feel like work, things that feel more like I am being more me. I am appealing more to just my emotional and spiritual needs versus, I guess, doing the YouTube thing. But someday I would like to go back to celebrating the solstices and the equinoxes like regularly and decorating for them. And even if I just light a candle, that's kind of my thing. Like no matter how busy I am, if I want to observe a holiday, as long as I just light a candle, I feel satisfied that I've done something. I've put some kind of energy into what I believe in. Fall and winter are definitely my favorite times of year. I love just the colors and like how cold it's getting, and when I want to decorate, like at least for the fall time, I can decorate with like leaves and pumpkins and strings of like acorns and pine cones. In the winter time, I can decorate with like silver and white and string up lights, and I'll even get a tree. I get a solstice tree. I don't think I have my solstice tree anymore, the one that I always had, but I had a mini tree. It was like 3 feet tall. And I would decorate it every year and, just set it up on just any table by itself, usually in like a room by itself, just because I have cats, but I would do that. And I just like I love the holiday too. I like the solstice, and like wintertime in general. So those are my big things. I like the weather and I like the aesthetic. Types of witchcraft that I've found myself very much into, energy work, which I mentioned before, working with elemental energies and energies like aura or astral energies. Gemstones, I collect gemstones. I have a ton of gemstones for different uses, for calming, for healing, for strengthening your will, for grounding. I've got them all. I have a huge collection of gemstones that I'm hoping to show off the next time that I get the chance to like sit down and do like a filler episode for this week. Hopefully I'll actually get that video out there. I attempted to record this in the video of me showing off my gemstones, and I had lost like the audio for one of the videos, and then I lost like the footage for like one of the other videos, and like I don't know, something went really wrong. So this is a re-recording, and I don't actually have a script, so this is a completely different version than what I recorded last time. So that's fun stuff, I guess. Weather magic I've been interested in, divination using weather or using energy from weather, like healing rituals, which would fall under usually water, the element of water, during like rain or rainstorms. The idea of like maybe collecting rainwater and using it in some kind of magic, or using it to like anoint something. Do you anoint with water? You can anoint with oil. I don't know if anointing is only with oil. I would have to look that up, because I actually don't know. You can bless things with water. I think anointing is only oil. Wow. I don't know, actually. But, you know, weather magic like that, feeling more energized during storms, like thunderstorms, I feel more energized, but also more clear of mind. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to get into the specifics, just because like I am talking spirituality. It's a very subjective thing, and I know a lot of science-minded people would have some things to say. I mean, I'm a very science-minded person myself, but yeah, talking about spirituality without sounding like I am anti-science or anti-reality is a really big struggle for me. Tarot readings, I just got really into, I got my own tarot deck, and I got really into using my tarot deck for different things, different situations in life. And I will be showing my tarot deck in the video where I show off gemstones that I have. But yeah, I have a tarot deck, and I like that form of divination. There's other types of divination as well that I really like, but I don't know what cartomancy. It's it's using tarot cards for divination. But I like stuff like that. Astrology, not in the way people would think. I believe, like, obviously, objectively, you're born under a star sign. Like, you don't change your star sign, obviously. Like, you're born, and then, like, you're an Aquarius or Pisces, Leo, Scorpio, whatever. And I don't believe in, like, you have certain attributes that are attributed. Attributes that are attributed. Cool. Attributes that are assigned to you based on your star sign. I do not believe in that. I believe more in, like, yeah, I'm an Aquarius, so I focus on air magic or things aligned with the air elemental sign. And I feel like I have more of an affinity for that sort of witchcraft because of my star sign, I guess. But I don't believe in your star sign determining your personality. I think it's a good way to determine your strengths. And I kind of like the idea of compatibility, but there's a lot of nuance to that. I don't want to think like, well, I'm an Aquarius, and the most compatible sign with Aquarius is Libra, so obviously me and my fiance click because of that. Like, that is not something I believe in, though Libra being very compatible with Aquarius is actually true. I found that to be very fascinating. They're two air signs, and they're very strongly attracted to one another, I guess, according to astrology, not according to me. Seasonal witchcraft, I talked about that, and not just like celebrating the solstice or the equinox, like not just celebrating holidays, but also, I guess, relying on the different elemental strengths during certain holidays. So like, the element of fire during summer, or the element of air during spring. I don't think spring is attributed to air. I think it's water, but I don't remember that one, to be totally honest. But I like the idea of like this certain time of year, or even like the time of day or the day of the week, being attributed to an elemental attribute. I like that as well. And also days of the week falling under like a planetary attribute. So I can't even think of one. Like Sunday, obviously, Sunday falling under like the like idea of the sun and fire elemental magic, and warmth and light and things like that, and new beginnings. When you think of the sun, you think of like the sunrise. Monday being attributed to the moon, and that would be water-based elemental magic, and maybe like doing some kind of like lunar magic, and just kind of, assigning each day to a different like planet. Saturday would be Saturn. I don't remember what the other ones are. It's been a while. And I talked about tying in other types of spirituality, talking about like, I talked about being into Buddhism a while back, and really liking not the Buddhist practice. I'm not sure how far you can go before it is considered appropriation, but I like some of the concepts in Buddhism. I'll study concepts in Buddhism, Shintoism, Taoism, Judaism as well. I know it is a closed religion. You can convert to it, obviously, but it is a closed religion, and it is possible to appropriate Jewish practices and Jewish, just, I don't know how to explain that. I don't know what word I was looking for there, but I want to convert to Judaism. I talked about that before, and it's mostly I just learn about Judaism and what it has to offer, and use the concepts to tie into my own spirituality. I don't use their rituals. I don't celebrate their holidays. That's like not appropriate. But I do use ideas and concepts to work my own concepts and ideas into my practice. And also the Book of Shadows, I think that's like the number one thing people think about when they think of witchcraft. People have heard of like a Book of Shadows. When I was growing up, I thought the Book of Shadows was like just a singular book, or like a type of book that like teaches you about witchcraft. You could like get it at a store or something. I mean, you can get books at like Barnes and Noble that are like, here is my Book of Shadows. This is like all my information about witchcraft and all that. But the Book of Shadows is actually a personal compilation of things that you've learned in witchcraft, and notes you've taken on concepts you've learned. At least for me, there's basic notes. There are charts that tell me like what each day of the week, like what its elemental sign is, what its planetary sign is, things about astrology and different elemental signs, what kind of gemstones are used for what things, It's got, I mean, it's basically everything I've learned up to this point, plus like things that I've created myself, rituals I've created myself, or spells that I've created myself to like fit like a goal or something, like a need of mine. Because you can invent spells and rituals yourself. You can invent a prayer. So that kind of stuff is in there too. And just general notes, everything I've ever learned over the past like decade and more. Bits and pieces pulled from different books. I've sold all my witchcraft books. I don't have any left, because I wanted to just create my own craft and get into a more like eclectic, personalized type of practice. So if I do get any books in the future, I'd be using the book very critically, and making sure that what I am learning and what I'm writing down is useful to me, something I will actually use in the future, not something I'm just going to write down because I saw it in the book. So I guess that's about it. This was mostly just listing things about my witchcraft practices. It wasn't really a lot of detail, and there wasn't much of a script. It was really just notes I scribbled down. But I just wanted to like focus more on like witchcraft and what it meant to me. I'm hoping to get more into spiritual practice, daily, weekly, like something regular, something to kind of keep my mind clear and focused. So question of the week: do you practice witchcraft, and do you specialize in any type of witchcraft? Comment below or answer in my Discord server in the Identity Talk Response channel, and let's talk about it. I'll be here to respond to all your comments and all that. And I just want to say that I super appreciate the feedback on my channel. I appreciate the comments, and I love that there's a discussion. I like that people are talking. People are talking to each other in my comments. People are talking to me in the comments, and I like that. I super appreciate that. You can leave a comment anytime. You can go to like some of my first few videos and like respond to the question of the month or question of the week, which is what I've changed it to. But yeah, it's been great, and I'm hoping to catch up. I took like a month off from uploading just because I've got so much going on in my life. I will eventually have a vlog where I just, update everyone on everything going on in my life right now. So I hope everyone is doing well, and I am signing off for now. See you later.